Okay, so before we look at stoichiometry, let's look at a sample of let's just remind ourselves on construction of chemical equations. Now, chemical equation, we need to use chemical symbols. So we need to be familiar with what type of elements we are dealing with, what type of compounds we are dealing with. If we are able to identify the chemical formulae of such compounds, then we'll be able to construct proper chemical equations. All right, let me just give an example. If I say sodium react with water, okay? If I say sodium reacts with water, okay, in a chemical reaction, what do you think will be the chemical equation? We know the symbol for sodium, it's capital letter A, small letter A. Sodium is a solid. Plus, these are what we call state symbols. We have 4 state symbols: have solid, liquid, gas, and aqueous. These are the 4 states of symbols of state. Can you call it in anywhere? So sodium, water is H2O, and it's liquid. What do you think this will form? This will form sodium hydroxide, okay, an aqueous solution. That's all. Whenever you dissolve a metal or something in water, is able to form an aqueous solution, and that solution will be known as it depends on the metal. It can be sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, just like that. What if I say carbon reacts with sufficient oxygen? What would be the chemical equation? Carbon is C plus oxygen. When it's sufficient, it's like this. And whenever oxygen is sufficient, it usually forms carbon dioxide. And you can check that on the left hand side is balancing with the right hand side. We have one carbon, okay, one carbon, two oxygen, so you can be able to tell that this is balanced. Now, what if we have sulfuric acid reacting with sodium hydroxide? What will be the equation? Sulfuric acid, we need to know its the compound formula of this acid. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4. This will react with sodium hydroxide. Now, this being a neutralization reaction, whenever an acid and a base, this is what we call a base, reacts with, when these two react, they usually only form a salt and water. So that salt that will be formed is the sulfate ion, it will combine with the sodium, while the OH ion, it will combine with the hydrogen ion. What I'm trying to say, the sodium ion to combine with the sulfate ion, the OH ion here to combine with the hydrogen ion here, and we're going to have water. Water is formed when the one hydrogen ion combined with a hydroxide ion. When these two combine, they usually form water. So that's just a summary on how you can come up with a balanced chemical equation. Make sure you know the symbols of each element, also the symbols of compounds.